Principal is bucking the trend of the helicopter parent by promoting free-range parenting instead.
Now, he reckons kids should be free to roam alone from as young as 6 to make a child feel more empowered.
We're usually pretty free to do what we want, but we have some rules.
The concept of free-range parenting is probably alien to helicopter parents and their kids.
I'm 9 years old, so it would be pretty cool if I could get to go to the movies by myself.
I get to go out quite a bit, but sometimes my mum doesn't really like me going that far.
But the principal of Fitzroy Community School argues overprotecting our children is damaging to their development.
Continue to check and monitor our children the whole time gives them the message that they're not able to look after themselves. So you got the tram this morning, you two got the tram to school this morning. Did you have anything to do with that, just a normal tram ride?
Tim Berryman reckons kids as young as 6 should be more liberated.
We normally just stay on the same tram and they'll get off the same.
Sure. So that's quite wise. You might get off the tram, you might stay on.
So he's teaching them to be more independent.
It's probably safer with mum and dad, but I would like to do more things without having to do it with someone else.
Fear is disempowering. It's all from the right position. I just don't know if it brings the right result.
And youngsters are relishing.
I like being a bit free and learning how to do things without everyone saying you have to do that.
Aussie kids are more anxious than ever and overprotective parents aren't helping.
They're being told that the world's a bad place, where I think they should be told that the world's mostly actually a very good place.
So a leash-free approach could be the key to creating stronger and more confident kids and adults.
Right, joining us from Melbourne is Fitzroy Community School Principal Tim Berryman. Tim, welcome to the program. Look, I personally agree with what you're saying, but a lot of people are focusing on this six-year-old, letting 6-year-olds get on a tram by themselves and saying, now that's too young, maybe 10 or 12.
I never give a specific age. I don't know where that particular quote came from.
Good.
Every child's different, and it depends on the competency of the child. Also, I actually don't like telling families what they should do. I don't think any of us parents like being told what we should do. And if you're struggling with, you know, anxiety or worry about if you're going to be brave enough, if you should, and somebody gives you a lecture, I generally find that unhelpful.
Okay, Tim, you're an expert in you're a child educator in child development, so you know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So the age 6 was reported. That's why we're running that. I'll
give you the context on that one. When I gave a speech last year, I said, you know, I'd really think that children should be given a bit more freedom, and then the next day one of our school families let their 6- and 8-year-old go to the bakery together, and those children came home from the bakery 10 feet taller, feeling like they'd really grown up and done something.
Okay, all right, that's good.
So that's the context of that one.
All right,
yep.
So for people living in cities, at what age do you think it's appropriate to say let kids get walk to school alone or get public transport to school alone?
Look, you can't really answer that question because, you know, some people have greater distances to walk and they may have to swap trains or trams, so that one's very specific to the journey you're making. I think by the middle of primary school pretty much everybody could do that, including a swap of tram. But the actual family situation will be different and every child's abilities is different.
Yeah, what you're saying is it depends on your kid's maturity, but parents have got to give them a go.
It does.
You know,
that's right.
We're strangling them too much and we're sort of reflecting our own anxiety onto our kids when we should be putting up a wall, keeping our anxieties to ourselves and saying, hey guys, have a great childhood.
Well, I mean, look, I'll give an age-specific example and also answer that one. My 7- and 5-year-old walked home from the tennis lesson a couple of days ago, and it's a very short distance and they had to cross one street that had a pedestrian crossing, and they're completely fine with that one. And it's something I did when I was a little kid. I would walk home from the same tennis club. And so I was really, really happy with that one. In terms of the fear, if we keep telling them we can't, we disempower the children. So I'm worried about the aspect of basing our parenting on fear, it makes the children think they can't do things.
Tim, I had a very free-range childhood, so I'm all for this, and I don't like the helicopter parent scenario. I'm not a parent at this point, so I can't really comment. But I know Koshi always says the statistics show that Australia has never been so safe. All we hear about are the bad stories, are the Madeleine McCann stories where you think, oh my God, what if that was my child? And, you know, I was out the other night in my own street. There was a guy who was clearly on ice wandering around. There are different drugs now. There are people wandering around.
But Madeleine McCann was in Portugal 10 years ago.
But things happen.
And we just, no, we hear, things have always happened. We just hear about them instantly now. And we're to blame for that.
Look, I'm gonna follow on from that point, Cozzy. I sort of think that if we think about our own children and their friends or the kids they're in the football club with or their classmates, and we think how many bad things happen to them or that group of kids, the answer for my own children is none. And so if we make that our world rather than our interconnected 9 billion humans, well then actually we get a different point of reference so we can feel a bit more secure.
All right, Tim, thank you for joining us. Really appreciate it. Back with more in a